Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Forecast 2007. First of all, I want to assure you that you're not watching Good Morning America, Dr. Phil, or 60 Minutes, and neither am I Katie Couric or Andy Rooney. My eyebrows are not long enough. My name is Karl Sinclair, and I'm part of the industrial group at Grubb-Ellis Levy Befford. I've been a part of the Levy firm for 34 and a half years, and Harrison says that's about long enough to put up with anyone. Before the real professionals take over this morning, I want to take a couple of minutes and reflect back on some historical events that have affected our market and continue to enter into our everyday business decisions. History and past events can sometimes be painful, they can be beneficial, or they can be educational, depending on how the ball bounces. Hopefully history will help us correct our mistakes, help us make wiser business decisions, and help us make adjustments and changes to our business plans as we move forward on a day-to-day business. First, let's glance back at the banking industry. Some of you are too young to remember that infamous day on July the 5th, 1982, when Penn Square Bank, showing deposits of $470 million, closed its doors. Or remember 4 years later on July the 14th, 1986, when the First National Bank of Oklahoma City, the second largest FDIC bank in history, shut its doors. The Daily Oklahoman in March of '87 reported that there had been 47 bank failures from the year '82 through '87. And then in December 1989, they stated that state banks were glad to see the '80s end, and so were we. The banking industry has rebounded and is strong today. Secondly, let's take a brief look at the oil business. The Sunday Oklahoman in December of 1989 reported crude oil prices at about $20 a barrel. Who would have thought in '89 that we would be paying $3 a gallon for gasoline, or crude oil would be $60 a barrel? The oil industry is strong and healthy today. And while we're talking about the oil industry, I found this article from the Journal Record, dated September the 2nd, 1988, to be very interesting, pertaining to Chesapeake Energy. The article read, Chesapeake Production Company is moving into new offices at the 6,000 square foot 3-Chop Square at 6104 Northwestern, which the firm purchased in June. The firm, which is remodeling the 2-story building, interior and exterior, plans to occupy 3,000 square feet on the second floor for offices and lease the first floor. My, how times have changed. Today, the Chesapeake Energy Complex occupies a sprawling area around Northwest 63rd and Western. One of the more exciting things that happened in the 80s, the latter part of the 80s, was the opening of Remington Park on September the 2nd, 1988. At that point in our history, we were groping for anything that offered optimism for our market. And last but not least, many of you will remember the Oklahoma City real estate paper, Guffey's Journal, the first real estate paper that dealt with actual sales and reported buyers and sellers. Mr. Guffey was a professional, and if you missed being scrutinized by his professionalism, you missed a real business treat. So enough about history. Let's get into the exciting future of 2007 and use what we've learned in the past. So here's Randy Lacey to take you there.